All right, so today we're going to be talking about intermodal transportation and how intermodal transportation can help firms to save money. So there's lots of different ways that this is possible that shipping companies can cut costs by using intermodal transportation. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is just the fact that railroads and water methods of shipping, going by ship, are just cheaper, especially for long distances. It's a cheaper method of transportation. And so you do have some downsides where water and trains can't get where trucks can. But if you use multiple methods, then you're taking advantage of the fact that the trains and the ships are cheaper, and you can do that for the long haul. And then just to get to the final destination where those can't get to, you can use a truck. So you're taking advantage of the flexibility of the truck, but also the cost efficiency of the other modes of transportation. And so when you combine those together, you're getting the best of both worlds. So the next thing is fuel efficiency. Trains are actually hybrid, and so they take up less fuel per mile than a truck, and same thing with ships. They're just more fuel efficient, and so that reduces fuel expenses. If you're only shipping by truck, then you're having to, keep that same rate of fuel cost. But if you're using a portion on train, then for that portion of the distance, you're not having to spend as much on fuel, which is a big way to cut costs. While fuel may seem like it's not that big of a deal, it really adds up over time. So that can really help cut costs if you add in train or water to your transportation system. And then next is lower labor costs. So this is a huge thing. If you think about how much freight can go on a truck compared to how much freight can go on a ship or on a train, it's a significant difference. So when every truck has to have a driver, so every bit of freight that would fit on a truck has to have a driver to it, and then you're having to pay so many drivers compared to, when you're shipping on a train, there doesn't have to be an employee for every single rail car or an employee for every single amount of freight that would be hauled on a truck. You have a lot less labor costs. And same on a ship. Ships can ship tons of freight with much less labor than trucks because there has to be so many of them. And so that is one way that it definitely cuts down on costs, is you're not having to pay so much labor as if you were doing all trucks. And so that's one thing to take advantage of. And then the next thing is it improves flexibility. And so, you can ship to places that you couldn't only by train or only by water, and you can ship to places that you couldn't only by truck. And so that is expanding your ability, your range of where you can ship to and what you can ship. And that will broaden your opportunity for revenue. And so maybe not necessarily cut costs, but help to make up for costs more, because you're increasing revenue, you're increasing what you're able to ship to. And then last is there's some environmental benefits to cutting your carbon emissions, cutting your use of fossil fuels, and meeting sustainability standards. A lot of companies are under regulations and standards that they have to meet with carbon emissions. And so in a lot of scenarios, if you're not meeting those, it can cause problems for you, for your business, and you could even have to pay fines if you're not meeting the standards that you're supposed to meet. And so using intermodal can really help to just increase efficiency, increase your economic sustainability, environmental sustainability, excuse me. And so that can, in the long run, really help you save money, help you save trouble. And so overall, it can just be a great thing for shipping companies to use a mixture. You're getting the benefits of both, and you can cut out some of the negatives of both.